When you're writing your crime books, how close to the real people that are involved do you get? Do you actually speak to pathologists? And
I don't actually speak to pathologists. I do, and I have spoken to the police. And every crime author is different, and depending on what kind of crime novels they write, of course. And mine are classed as police procedurals, so detective. So they have to have an element of reality in them. But having said that, if you put it in the novels exactly how the police operated under a major investigation, the book would be so long and so boring that it would read like a police manual anyway. Yes. So what I do is obviously I do talk to a number of police officers, and I've been to Portsmouth and I've been to Havant Police Station, but I also get a lot of information, particularly on the pathology side, from the internet. So love it or hate it, for authors, for writers, it's an absolute boom. So there is quite a lot of information there, and then I can check with the experts if I need to. Yes.
How many of the Andy books have you now written?
I've written, I'm losing count now, honestly, it's terrible. I've written 6 Andy Hortons, 5 are currently published. Number 6, Footsteps on the Shore, is out in January or February next year, I believe. And that one is set primarily around Porchester Castle, Hayling Coastal Path and Portsmouth. So that's number 6, and I'm halfway through writing number 7 at the moment. Right. And I've got 2 thrillers as well, In Cold Daylight and
Yes, because you do write other things apart from the Andy Hall.
Yes. Yeah. So I've written the 2 sort of standalone thrillers, but I've been quite engrossed with the series lately because obviously publishers prefer a series, because once you can start to sell a couple of novels, your readers like to read about the same characters. Yeah. So I'm writing the Andy Horton series, but I would like to do another thriller, definitely. So I probably have to write 2 books a year to get that in, though.
Do you get people that have read your books actually going to the places and tracing where they take place?
I haven't, not to my knowledge, I haven't yet, but I think the city or the backdrop, the Solent area in my books, the sea is very important. Almost becomes a character in your novels. It sets the tone of it, and it's very much, it's very atmospheric, yeah.
And also I presume that it's good for you to base it somewhere real, because you can actually walk those paths and find places where you could write a piece in.
Yes, absolutely. And I draw my inspiration from the area. People always ask, where do you get your ideas from? But you only have to be out walking in this area, or the Isle of Wight, where I often go and where a couple of the books are set. And, you can see a bay, a marina, the Solent. There's just so much going on around Portsmouth Harbour that you can't fail to sort of see something and think, oh, yeah, of course, that could go in a book, or that's where something could happen. And I also like to get the facts right in that is it high water or low water? Where is the boat sailing into? Can it get in there? Because, people do read books and they'll say, well, hang on a moment, she's got that wrong. You can't possibly get a boat in there at 3:00 on the 15th of August or whatever it is. Yeah. Definitely. The series is evolving. The characters in it, as he's with Superintendent Uckfield and Sergeant Cantelli, the characters are evolving. And one of the reviewers in America actually likened one of my books to that of Ed McBain, the great Ed McBain, which was quite unusual, quite flattering in a way. But what they meant was that in Ed McBain's books, the whole precinct is almost like under the spotlight, and although Andy Horton is the main character, there are others that revolve around him and impact on him in the investigation. So there's a lot of life left in them yet. Yeah.
Pauline, thank you so much for coming in and chatting to me.
Right, thank you very much for asking me.
Always really interesting.